In with that, we're putting some chocolate. Now, normally we do this on a double boiler, but I have a pretty well-controlled stove here, and I am using a very heavy bottom copper pot, which will make for very even heat distribution. If you're nervous about the consistency of and distribution of heat on your stove, then by all means do this over a double boiler. So we melt down the butter, and as that's melting, we're going to add some chocolate to that. I just want to get a little more melted in the bottom of the pan. Here's our chocolate. Our soup is bubbling nicely, and it's really thickening up and getting rich and creamy. Just going to lower that heat down a little bit. Now that our chocolate is melting, we're going to add some sugar to that, and a little vanilla extract. And a tiny bit of salt. Do a quick cleanup, get rid of some stuff. This is just about melted. We need another minute or so. Now what we're going to do is we're going to whisk some eggs into this. And then after we whisk the eggs in, we're going to put some flour. We're going to put this all into some nice little buttered ramekins. So while that's melting down, we've got our ramekins and some butter. So I'm simply going to take that butter, go around all the ramekins, bottom and sides. You know we film live to tape. That means if I sneeze, if I cough, you're going to see it. So all of this is being done in real time. We are going to take a bit of a break at the very end just to plate everything up. But here's our ramekins. It's better to over butter than under butter. So don't worry about putting what you might think is a little bit too much. I'd rather have them over buttered so they come out of the ramekins nicely. Okay, our chocolate's melted nicely. I'm going to take that off the stove. I like to stir it for another minute to kind of cool it down a bit. Okay, letting that cool for a sec, whisking it around, and we're going to get our eggs. Hopefully they won't roll away on me. Just crack our eggs into the bowl. This way we're set. And we can add them one by one as we're whisking this. That was one. Here goes the second one. And number 3. Now we start adding our flour. Careful not to whisk too fast like I just did, and flour flies up in your face. Okay, we want this just like that, nice and creamy. Okay, we've got our ramekins. Just pour some of this lovely batter in each one. Oh, this is looking so nice. Now for the liquid center part. We have some wonderful hunks of chocolate. We're going to just press those right into the center of each. Lay them on a pan and pop them in the oven. They only bake for about 8 minutes. It's a really, really quick dish. Okay, now we have to jump on our salad. Check our soup again. We need a tad bit more chicken stock in this. Boy, this is so rich and lovely. Okay, remember the salad I said we have pears and oranges and toasted nuts. So for our candied spiced pecans, we have a wonderful blend of spices. There's allspice, there's star anise, there's cinnamon, there's nutmeg, there's clove, there's sugar, there's even curry powder. That's what makes this such a wonderful exotic type of a dish. We've got some pecans. I'm just going to give you a little demo on this. We've got our spice mixture all ready to go here, and you can email us for all these recipes. We put our pecans into some egg white, and we just mix those around to moisten them up nicely. We want them to be coated wonderfully with the egg white. Then we take them from the egg white and put them into the spice mixture. And once they're coated with the spice mixture, we're going to just pick them out and put them in our little pan and bake them off in the oven. Here's another one. And here we go. So we're just going to throw those in the oven as well. And we'll have our wonderful candied spiced pecans. Now we have our pears. A little bit of a trick with the pear. We slice it in half. We want to pull all the seeds out of it. I take a melon baller, put it right over where the seeds live. I call that the seed packet. And just press down and scoop it out. And we have the seeds and the pear completely separate. And then I'm going to just cut out this little bit of stem on both ends. Just cut a nice little wedge. And that gets discarded as well. And then we can take our pear, make one more slice, and then we can just dice this up for our salad. I'm slicing one direction in a 1/2 inch, and then the opposite direction in a 1/2 inch. And when I'm all done, I have my wonderfully diced pear that I will put a little bit of balsamic syrup over. And then I'll just mix that all up. When we do this dish in the fall or the winter, we actually poach the pears in a red wine poaching liquid. But for this time of year, when it's a bit warmer out, we like to do these pears just with some balsamic syrup, which is wonderful.